I am planning on producing the worst video ever of my new supercharger. Mandatory. I haven't started this up since yesterday. I like gauges. I don't know if you can hear the metal grinding. That is supercharger. Bought a used wynjammer. Drove to St. Louis to pick it up. Be in there. You have to use E-fans because you need a cooling system. That's what that does. Cool stuff. Like cool quick. It's a very hideous engine bay. I have a fire extinguisher rated for electrical. Oh, the supercharger old belt gave me this little kit yesterday because I disrespected it with a shit belt. This one looks kind of loose, but I don't know. I'm not 100% confident on something yet. The issue whistle. The PCM tune that they gave me idles at 625 to 600 RPMs, which sounds all fine and dandy. I'll have 249,777 miles on this. So the idle at 600 is stupid because A, the decompressor turns slower, and it's a rather cool day, and the humidity's probably 100%. It feels like it, at least. The vacuum system, because you now have boost pressure, is even more worser than it was when it was originally designed. So max AC is just a neat thought. I haven't come up with a resolution for that yet. Just many, many vacuum leaks, and there are no replacement parts. You just have to retrofit crap on crap. And because the wynjammer runs off of the alternator pulley, the kit comes with a custom alternator pulley. It doesn't bolt on, which doubles the surface area of the alternator pulley, presumably to give the serpentine belt more surface area so it doesn't slip, which reduces RPM speed by half, if I had to guess, or close to that. I have a 150 amp alternator off of an 06 Escalade, same price as the 105 that comes with this, and pretty much bolt on. That did add to the challenge of installing a supercharger because I had to Dremel quite a bit of material off of the alternator. Grinder, not Dremel. That would take forever. And so if both fans are on, the AC blower is on, the headlights are on, and my very not stock, hopefully stock looking head unit is running, the alternator has no chance at idle. Cruising's fine, but at idle it's shit. So my next project will hopefully be a second alternator. I like electricity, despite my obvious disrespect for it via wiring. But yeah, boost gauge. Boost gauge is plugged into the supercharger manifold, which is fine, except you don't get any vacuum. So by taking the vacuum gauge I had out and installing this, I now no longer have a vacuum gauge at all. But you can watch it. You can watch the whistles build. This is a 6 PSI system. I've seen 8 on some test drives, but I think the 6 PSI means that's what actually makes it to the intake. This is directly out of the charger, so it might be a little turbulent or whatever, but I don't know. I need this to not be retarded, so I think I'm going to move this off of the charger manifold back onto the back of the intake manifold where the accessories are. I don't really know much about boosted applications and how this applies, so this is some more research I have to do. That's my brother's sad Tahoe, maybe getting a supercharger based on these results. It's very sad. The training just went out. Yeah, and this is a 4-wheel drive, so the 2 to 2.5 hour install took me about 14 hours. I have every tool you could possibly need to do the install, so that wasn't the issue. Mainly, probably spent 2 hours dremeling the alternator to make that fit. I have a 1-inch body lift, so I had to hammer part of the fender well down about 10 to 12 millimeters for about a 4x4 inch section, just so that if there is any twisting of the engine, the supercharger doesn't, fight with the fender well. Also have energy polyurethane motor mounts, which have melted into a soup-like concoction. They kind of neglect to tell you that polyurethane is comically heat saddened. It just melts from ambient engine bay heat. You need a heat shield because it's directly beneath the exhaust on this. I didn't know that when I installed it, so they're both melty. Fortunately, they do have interlocks, which I take advantage of regularly on the driver's side because that one is mostly melted away. You can hear it thump the locks when I put it in drive. It makes a lot of popping and whining noises too. Yeah, so that is the supercharger. I have a shitload of other mods on this vehicle, but I try to make it look stock and beater-like because I don't like people stealing my shit. And vanity is not my priority. I've had the truck naturally aspirated, GPS verified, 112, 113 miles an hour. It took about 6 miles of runway. But hopefully the charger will make the top end even more scarier, because this is already incredibly unstable at 100 with 2 to 3 inch lift in the rear, 2 inch lift in the front, 1 inch body lift. I've got the stiffest sway bar they put on here. It's inadequate. Polyurethane bushings throughout. But there's just there's no way I'm putting a rear sway bar on and losing that articulation, because I do actually drive this off-road. It is not a pavement pounder. And I think that is it.